Oh my god. Has it really happened? Is Shyamalan back? Split is directed by M. Night Shyamalan and stars James McAvoy, someone with 23 different personalities who kidnaps these three girls, and this thriller ensues as you're trying to figure out what's going on with this guy and how are these girls going to escape. Now, at one point, M. Night Shyamalan was considered like he's going to be the next Spielberg. You know, he's making movies like Signs, The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable. And then he started making movies like After Earth, Lady in the Water, The Happening, The Last Airbender. But guess what, guys? This is a good movie. It's not a great movie, but it is a good, fun movie to watch. Now, it's not as good as like the ones I mentioned earlier, like Signs, The Unbreakable, or The Sixth Sense, but it is a good return to form for Shyamalan. The biggest positives to this movie is the story, which I really liked, and James McAvoy. Now, the story, I think, was written really well. Now, Shyamalan has written some couple stink piles lately, a few of them. Maybe more than a few, but this one was really good. I was really intrigued by the story. 23 different personalities. This guy's like trying to figure out like a 24th, like this crazy like beast is coming. His therapist is trying to figure out like what's going on with him. You're acting different. I mean, how would you ever like catch up with someone with 23 different personalities? But anyway, and James McAvoy as this guy is so good. Like one of the best James McAvoy performances I've seen. He is so good in this movie. It was such a good opportunity for him to play these like different roles within the same character, and he does it so well. And every scene he's in, I am locked in. I'm like, what is that? What in the hell is going on with this guy? I wanted to just know more and more and more. And you get a lot from him. Now, the scenes that he wasn't in was kind of a detracting for me because I don't think all the performances were great. But he really carries this movie on his shoulders. He really does. And he kind of he makes up for the scenes that he's in, makes up for the scenes that he's not, which is fine to me. So like I said, his performance is great, but the other ones really weren't for me. I mean, the therapist was okay. She wasn't anything special. The three girls were not that good at all, in my opinion. The lead one wasn't bad. She was actually pretty decent. I like how the lead girl actually, like, so this guy's like, they can figure out like something's weird's going on with this dude. Like has different personalities and he's coming and talking to him as different people. And the other girls are like, oh, let's fight him and stuff. And then the lead girl is smart about it. And I like this. She's like, well, let's like play along. She like plays along and tries to like trick him when he's like this younger character named Hedwig. Or when he's like this really neat freak. Or the woman. It's really smart writing at times. And she was a smarter lead character than what you get in a lot of just like dumb horror movies. So the two biggest positives of this movie that you have a great lead performance and a really intriguing story. But now there are some negatives to this movie that I'm going to address. That being sometimes the narrative did feel a bit choppy. There are like flashback scenes that you get for this girl, the background of this girl's character, which I felt that worked. But sometimes these type of flashbacks and he's going back and forth between different scenes kind of made it, the pacing maybe a little uneven. But not like to a really bad extent. Just it did feel a little choppy at times. Also, like I said, not all the performances were all that great. McAvoy was great, but everyone else was just kind of acceptable. The tension didn't always hit as hard as I would have liked it or as the movie was trying to, because there are a lot of predictable scares in this movie. I won't say a lot, but a few. There were a few times where I was like, I literally was in theater, I was like, I could count down 3, 2, 1, there's going to be a jump scare, and boom, guess what, there was. But I mean, there's not a ton of that, and there's a lot less M. Night Shyamalan isms, like classic, cliche, crap M. Night Shyamalan stuff that you're going to get, that you've got from like these past bad movies. He circles around and gets kind of back to that old Shyamalan feel that you get in his older movies, and that really, really worked. So I believe that the positives far outweigh the negatives in this movie, making it a really fun ride. So overall, this movie had a really intriguing story. It brought back kind of that old feel of the old Shyamalan movies that I really love, and a spectacular performance by James McAvoy. This movie did its job and did it well. I was really pleasantly surprised and pleased by this movie. I have two different ratings for this movie, and we'll get into that right now. So my first rating, before the very final scene, so right when Split comes up, guys, if you're going to this movie, be prepared for this. Right away, Split comes up, and then you get kind of not a post-credit scene, but just a post-scene after that. So before that, the movie up before that first scene, that very final scene, I'm going to give it a 7.1 out of 10. A fair movie. After that last scene, guys, spoiler alert right here. Putting up the spoiler alert tag, because that last scene, ready? It's an Unbreakable movie. Holy hell, guys. This movie is an Unbreakable movie. Are you kidding me? So all those things that like, I was like disbelieving, like when the whole Beast was coming up and stuff, all that Beast stuff, right? When he's like climbing on the walls, like, oh, come on. I don't know if I know. When he's getting shot and he's just kind of, it's like, I don't know about this. But then after we found out we're in the Unbreakable universe, I was like, this is, oh my God, you know what this is? This is an origin story for a supervillain in the Unbreakable universe. You get Bruce Willis at the end screen, a mention of Mr. Glass. I was like, oh my God. So after that, that kind of makes the movie come together more for me. So after we figured out that it was actually an Unbreakable movie, I'm going to give it a 7.8 out of 10. I enjoyed it way more because those other things in the movie come together so much better. That's why this review, I actually saw this a couple nights ago and I'm posting it today. I'm doing this review today because I actually had to go I watched Unbreakable right after I watched Split again because it just makes that movie better, and watching Unbreakable and then this makes this movie a lot better. It comes together way better. So yeah, final rating for this movie, 7.1 before the last scene, but the actual rating for the movie, a 7.8. Guys, go check it out.
The world will understand now. The beast is real.
Oh, guys, the ending was just so good. I really want to go see this movie again now. Unbreakable is one of my favorite Shyamalan films. I love it because it's such like a kind of like a realistic take to a superhero, like super realistic of what would like actually would be like. It's just such an interesting take. I love it. I love it. Guys, thanks so much for watching this review. What did you think of Split? Is M. Night Shyamalan back for good? Maybe, maybe not. I think they have plans to make a sequel. From what I've been reading, he actually had the story of this character, Kevin, the lead character of this movie with all the different personalities, written for Unbreakable, but didn't put him in that movie. And so a lot of the scenes are from what he wrote for Unbreakable because he was originally going to be in that movie. But now we have this, so we're building on the Unbreakable universe. What's going on? I'm excited. I'm excited to see where they go. I want a sequel because this movie kind of kicks ass after you realize it's in the Unbreakable universe. Guys, thanks so much. Make sure to subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter for more movie reviews and just talking about movies. Guys, make sure to leave a comment below and a like on this video. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.